I'm in the kind of mood right now where I'm trying to figure out some things, and I'm specifically about my voice, which isn't anything to write home about. But, however, there was a little bit of thing I figured out just now, which is that when you sing, you can do all kinds of things, all manner of things, all kinds of things. You can do so many things to your voice, like or or you can do this, or also that's a matter of holding back your breath. But then there's something, there's this mental aspect to singing. And sometimes, this is why now is a time, sometimes you just get more, or you get closer to that bit of thing. Sometimes it's like the old concept of biorhythms, that we're supposed to have 3 rhythms that go independently, but at a certain number of days, and yada yada. And there's a mental, a spiritual, and a physical. And so I don't know about that, but anyway, sometimes you're able to manipulate your voice a little bit more than other times, because you're closer to that aspect of the voice that makes that possible. There are many politicians, I mean, they start a sentence like this, and they, oh yes, I like to do that. I'm not doing it very well. It's about, sounding like you're a little bit nicer and a little bit non-aggressive. Oh, anyway, hey, here it comes. I don't know how to sing, but I found out something that I can do with my song. This is not it, by the way. It was this. I shouldn't have taken the guitar out so fast. It's not about the guitar. It's about how you feel. It's about how how you feel. See. Well, and what I just found out, which I'm about to forget because of this rhetorical, institutional, and some even hinting at smoking will affect that side of the song, well, the singing. So what I was getting at is this. Let go of it. But don't think about letting go of it, because that's the wrong way around. You have to let go before you let go. I mean, you have to be let go, actually. You have to be in a state of mind where it lets itself go. And then, because we don't know about this, so when it happens, that's the time to learn. But we can't make it happen to learn, right? Because I mean, we can will it, but if we try to speculate it, our thoughts are not that great. We have been trained by in societies with leaders and dogma and other dogma. and yet another dogma, and all that, it's very nice and fine, but it's kind of the concretion of knowledge rather than the blooming of knowledge. Concretion is okay, but you also need something to put in the concrete pots to kind of make it all worth it. So singing that, well, insensatez que você fez, coração mais sem cuidado. So I'm not standing up, I'm sitting down the guitar yet. Yes, a mistake, and I'm out of the moment. See, the moment when I had to push a button there and here and there, and I made the mistake of picking down the guitar, and then this happened instead. But well, what I can say then is that deliberation is not actually a friend of music in the performance the performance part. Deliberation is what you do when you rehearse, when you compose. First of all, you compose, or somebody composes, and you can compose with deliberation, but you have to let something happen that isn't deliberate, because otherwise you'll just be repeating already existing ideas, wouldn't you? Because that's what deliberation is. You calculate what you already know. You have to have something that happens. And that's the composition part, the composing part A. Then when before you perform, you make something which you do something which I didn't at the first. You rehearse until until you can forget about it. I mean, it's not enough to be able to say what was it? This is something I learned from a friend called Jonas Peterson. Ah. And then he died, and I changed it into practicing kind of guitarist, but the principle is there. Tommy Emmanuel said, when you've got it, when you were rehearsed enough for you to, you know what you're playing, you just play it. It's perfect. He said, keep on practicing, because that'll make it easier. And as you just saw, even though this is from 1988, because I believed he died just around there. And this was a genius composer. Wow. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Dum, dum, da, da. Ba-dum, dum, dum. Something like that. He played to me once, and it was, I mean, wow. And then somebody broke into his apartment and stole his cassette tapes with his sketches, or what I was just doing now could be that, stole it. So he came to me some days after that and said, oh, they stole this and that, and could I please help him remember this, because he knew I heard him play it, and I couldn't help him there. And this is, wow, this is just back to the creative phase. It's very good to have recordings going on all the time, because sometimes you accidentally, like the thing that isn't speculative but accidentally is happening. Well, since you didn't speculate and figure it out beforehand, it's happening, and you might want to record it because you didn't know how you got there. This is the same thing somebody wrote in a book, that if you get to heaven by drugs, you won't know how you got there, so you can't. It's no good. Like, you didn't go there through life. You went there through a synthesis, like an artificial thing, right? Not that drugs necessarily are artificial. There are ancient old drugs, but look at where they got us. I mean, they didn't actually make heroes on every street corner telling all the bullies to slow down. That's not what happened. They could have taken mysterious mushrooms for tens of thousands of years, but we're still right here where the Donald Trump has just been president for 4 years. So, I mean, it wasn't, the sign of victory anyway. So, but the thesis is, or the theory is, that 100,000 years ago, somebody ate some mushrooms and got an idea, and that, because they had the temple of in Greece, where the women were advising visitors after taking drugs or whatever that was. And there are many signs of, shamans in South America using ayahuasca and all that. And the acid movement in California and America in the 60s and all that. To widen up your spectrum. There are theories that drugs played a role in human development, which they did because they were there. I mean, there are traces of cannabis use that are about 10, maybe 10,000 years. Numbers. Anyway, this thing, that something bigger than you might be helpful, because you can't expect to speculate or figure out beforehand what is new, yet you can do that. Arnold Schoenberg did that, and Stravinsky called himself an inventor, Innovachik, I don't know. Was he Russian? I don't know. I think so. Igor, my lord, Stravinsky. Я не знаю, что я делаю. In 5 minutes. I don't know what I'm doing in 5 minutes. The element of surprise is often surprising to the composer. I remember hearing David Bowie uttering that he sometimes cut words out of newspaper articles and arranged them randomly and to see what happened there. We can use all kinds of things. I might say this. I don't know, the sharp mind I want a sharp mind, so I'm looking at this, and then I'm blah 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 blah. This is projection. All of it's projection. It's in, like Jimi Hendrix said, it's all in your mind. He also said this: nothing but existence, misunderstood. And that is the deliberation, that we think we can deliberate, we can figure out how to do stuff. If we could do that, we would have. Instead, when you compose a song, let me try, just for your pleasure or pain. Right now, to compose something out of melody, I don't want to add words. I'll just take melody and some kind of style. This is a style. And this is a style. And this one's a style. And this one a style. And this was a style. this one is hopefully not a style yet. So let me try, folk music. Straight to the B part. And I would go here, but Neil Sedaka would say, no, don't go there. Don't go there. He would say, no, he wouldn't. That's jazz, but let me do that. This is kind of Stevie Wonder-ish, but I didn't know what I was doing when I said, let's go try blah, blah, blah. Let's see the element of surprise. That's really what I like about music, on the one hand. And on the other hand, if I could compose like Stevie Wonder, hell, man, I would. Actually, I'm always trying that, but then the liberation seems to make it not work. You have to be on his level to do what he does, so I should go maybe by down here, where he's up. So the picture's not strong enough. Let's take levels horizontally, right? So this is the Stevie, this is Stevie Wonder level. I think the camera will turn this about. So 0, Stevie Wonder level, and here I go. I start over there. That's right. My voice is 10% of his, my playing skills, and considering that he made music I wanted to be able to make, I now want to be able to make when he was in his teens. Yeah, I'd say that. I'm 65 next week's couple of weeks. So Stevie Wonder is quite, 10 times. Not musically. There he's only 5 times, but instrumentally and musically he's 10 times. So instrumentally he's actually 20 times. Singing-wise, he's 100 times better than I am. But then, back to the singing, right? Because the way he sings, if I might get back to the point, ain't. See, this is, just attempting to achieve about 40% of a Stevie Wonder thing going on. But then, I also like someone called Cara Dillon, Caradillon, and she's got the same but then, and the same quality of it. But then the Irish and the American, Afro-American especially, and the Spanish American, Jose Feliciano, the same, holy is Felicity, many kostbarheit und Hände fallen ha, der Zähnen ka, ho, ho, ho. Isn't that right, Groucho? No, sorry, Jose. I loved them. I was very happy about his first hit was, I'll cut to the chase. If you want to learn to sing, number 1, don't ever let it hurt. If it hurts, stop. You're doing something wrong. Try to do the same thing, the same detail that was hurting. Carefully. Try to do it again and see if you can avoid the hurt somehow, anyhow. If you discover a way that's not hurtful but doesn't sound right, step back again and then try. Number 2, investigate your voice. What can it do? How does it sound? Record it. Do anything like play with your voice like nobody would play with themselves. as they say. You know, just as long as it doesn't hurt. And record it so you can see what comes out of it. You may want to have a groove going in the back, like... That's all it takes. Oh, hoy, way down in my stomach. Oh yeah, that's another thing. They always talk about the breath. And they talk about atmet. In Germany means breathing. And atman in German, no, in Hindi, in old Indo-European languages, it's spirit, atmet. Alma in the Latin world. I don't know if there's a direct connection there, but anyway, they always emphasize stand up your body. They emphasize your body, and yeah, they're right. But then this is why I would advise you to advise you to experiment with your voice and be aware that you don't hurt. Just like you're a child climbing a tree, you'd be careful not to drop from the tree, right? Wouldn't you? The same, your voice is, I have had in the 80s, late 80s, I had a week where I couldn't speak because I'd been screaming. I thought there was nothing could go wrong, right? Don't ever think what can go wrong. Google it. And I think that's it, you know. Experiment. And number 3, what was that? But number 4, don't believe anything you hear unless you understand what is being said. And you are able to understand it so much that you can Google the parts of the argument for what is being advised to you. Every part. If somebody says, you must sing with your stomach, you must stand up, then you can breathe in 2 ways, like, or you can breathe with your, and don't ever smoke. If you want to sing, don't ever smoke. That one's true. But anyway, you know, you have to be able to reason along with what is being said to you. The minute it starts feeling like you're being put on or told off, stop, think again, and then Google it and try and find ways to confirm or debunk. There's got to be a real word for debunk. There's got to be a real word. Debunk. Come on. That word wasn't there when I learned English 50 years ago. 55 years ago, I think. 3rd grade? I don't think so. Oh, I gotta stop. This video is gonna take hours to upload. 25 minutes, and I don't even care to cut it. That doesn't cut it.